80 hours, 100 hours in a week is ever that good. Because, and it's been scientifically proven, the human body and brain just stops working properly after so long. So fuck them. Hello everybody and welcome to the coughing show. I've still got the side effects of the Rona. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. So anyway, yeah, WCCF Tech. We've got stuff happening. What are we talking about now? Oh, Alessio, you open it for me. Oh my
Well,
god,
okay.
everybody's done.
No. Yeah. We can begin with PlayStation, which actually made the new acquisition this week, and
Yeah.
it's
Yay!
it's a rather unique one because for once it is about mobile platforms. So they acquired the mobile developer. It's called Savage.
Yeah.
I think it was established only a couple of years ago, so that they don't have actual games under their belt. It's pretty much a brand new studio, but I think it's made from veteran developers, at least in the mobile sector. And
Okay.
well, they are working on a AAA live service action game for mobile. And basically, this is PlayStation's first step into mobile platforms, the first true step, major step.
Yeah.
And they've made it clear that this will not mean decreased investment in console or PC. So it is additive. Basically, they are also trying to push into mobile, and both with new IPs and of course with their own existing IPs. So we don't know yet which IP will be used for this game, but it is kind of a beginning of a new era for PlayStation. So they are not just on consoles anymore; they are also on PC, and they will also be on mobile. So
Fair enough. I mean, it makes sense. Nintendo's already gone there. It's only a matter of time until Microsoft do it, so I don't have a great deal to say about it. It's an unfounded studio, so we'll see. Triple, I, it's just we'll see. I don't trust mobile games, so there you
Yeah.
go.
It's funny. Triple A game on mobile. What does that mean? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, AAA is just it's a go-to word. I suppose when mobile first started, there were these AAA games, which are just high production,
Mm.
high value sort of things. But
Well, I guess they mean this time they mean more like the established IP from them in this case,
possibly, yeah,
probably.
I mean, I think they mean that this will not be your average mobile games. This will be high quality, as far as mobile go, I
Mm.
think. And I mean, let's look at the best example right now is Genshin Impact. That's pretty much as high quality as you can get for a mobile game. So, and there are others as well. So I think PlayStation, they've long made a bid for AAA games. They always try to make AAA games very high quality, very well received by critics. I mean, let's just look at Days Gone. That game was really good, but and it also
Yeah.
sold pretty well. But it was not universally acclaimed, and they basically ditched the sequel. So there you go. Basically, they are trying to be distinguished by quality, and I think they'll try to do that as well in the mobile space.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
makes sense.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's see, of course, if they can do it.
As long as they don't let Polyphony help with the live service stuff.
Yeah.
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 Because that didn't go well. Too well. At least. I don't know if they made any change from like a couple months ago. But
No interest in even finding out.
yes.
That's the best way I can. That's the best way I can talk about it. No interest even in finding out. So we'll see. I really don't give a shit about mobile games at the moment, so it'll just be a case of wait and see.
Yeah.
I suppose that's. Has anybody got anything else to say about that?
Nah.
No.
Now we can move
Quick and
on
easy.
to the
Move
next
on to
acquisition.
Yeah, just gonna say, might
Yeah.
as well just stick with acquisitions to keep Francesco happy and erect.
Happy and alive.
Yeah.
And awake.
So, and another Sony one. Yeah, From Software's parent company, investments by Sony and Tencent.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can't breathe too much. Breathing's not fun.
Francesco, this one is all yours.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm just reading because I didn't get this last week, so I'm just
Yeah.
bringing myself up to speed, so to speak.
Oh,
Yeah, well, Tencent has been purchasing everything they see pretty much. So it's not surprising because they already had shares in it. And with Elden Ring being so successful, it's not surprising that they might want to get more into that. Besides, it's rumored that From Software already has another game ready to go. That it's rumored to be a new Armored Core. So they could, since it's not as big of an IP as Dark Souls, they may want to, even From Software may want to have an extra help in marketing and even funds to make it as successful as their previous games, if it is indeed Armored Core,
I
because we don't
suppose it
know.
depends. I mean, it's From Software. I think anything they make will sell, despite the IP or anything now.
Yeah, but maybe they may not feel as confident as
Yeah.
Elden Ring is pretty much Dark Souls 4. As a game, not really as a
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
But Armored Core has been absent for a very long time, and they may not feel that confident. For
yeah,
example, with
also.
Sekiro, they went with Activision, and I think it's telling because it's a new IP, and they probably didn't feel as confident as it still went well, but
Yeah.
they may not feel as confident for an IP that is not their trademark hardcore RPG formula.
I think actually these investments that they got, I think they said like publicly, they are meant to expand From Software's development capabilities, but I also think they are starting to think about self-publishing in the future. I mean, I think it's a real possibility, with these investments, and maybe they can get more in the future. They might want to eventually be able to self-publish games, and of course, this means they get a much bigger cut of their sales, instead of having to split with Bandai Namco or whatever, Activision.
Mm.
I think this could be an interesting move because they've got investments from two giants, Sony and Tencent. And of course, with Sony, one could speculate that maybe they also stipulated that they will make Bloodborne 2 at some point in exchange for this investment. Who knows?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, makes sense.
Well, there have been those wild rumors that Bluepoint was making a Bloodborne sequel. I don't know, really. That maybe they could have made a remaster, but a sequel without From Software, I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
I suppose it's. I mean, Tencent investing is just what Tencent does now. They're just investing in. I'm fairly sure if I started a company, Tencent would buy me. So they just don't. That's
Should
just
we do that?
That's not.
Like,
Do you want to be bought by Tencent?
I mean,
Sure.
it depends how much.
You know, they say they're pretty hands off. So they
I say
just put the money and do whatever they
Say
want.
it depends.
You know, we
Depends how
should
much they're offering.
we should open WCC Games, our game making division.
No, I don't want to make games. Just publish them. Just I need to win the lottery and just publish games. That'll be fine.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I've got not much to say about it. Sony doing it makes sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony keeps trying to get more and more of From Software. They really screwed up originally when they didn't publish Demon's Souls, so we'll see what happens.
Mhm.
And now for another company that's acquiring everybody, NetEase. They've acquired Quantic Dream, which,
Yeah.
to be fair, again, they're just a decent enough studio. But it's more weird the fact that Quantic Dream have essentially been a Sony studio, but without the actual direct links to Sony.
Well, yeah, but it's actually been a few years since they've gone multi-platform, actually, and that originated exactly with NetEase. A few years ago, they had made an investment in Quantic Dream, and I guess they were happy, and now they've acquired them. We don't know the sum because they've not disclosed it.
Yeah.
But I think Quantic Dream, they were savvy enough to make sure all of those games they made for Sony, they were their own IPs. They weren't Sony's. So
that's what I mean.
So
it's just interesting.
And I think, of course, with Quantic Dream and especially David Cage, there is always a lot of controversy and lots of some people love the games, others hate the games. But personally, I enjoy them. So I think in that genre, which is kind of a niche, because there really aren't that many games, at least with the AAA budget.
Let's say.
In that genre. So I think it's a pretty good studio overall. And NetEase is trying to, of course, they're known as a mobile game, publisher and developer, but they are making efforts as well into the console and PC space. Between investments, and they've opened up actually studios. I think one in Montreal and others as well. So they are, they are trying to be known for making quality console and PC games as well, and Quantic Dream fits that bill, I think. Now they're also, of course, we know they're making Star Wars Eclipse, but they are also now publishing games, and they're publishing Under the Waves, which is kind of a narrative adventure game from an indie developer. So they are also have a publishing label now.
Yeah,
I think overall,
the first one was Sea of Solitude, wasn't it?
And I think it's an interesting move. Like you said, Tencent is the biggest company that's making investments and acquisitions, but NetEase is not far behind. And I think they've also, just like Tencent, given the problems that the Chinese gaming market is having internally, they are always trying to invest in Western companies. to kind of avoid these issues with all of the limitations that China's government has imposed on gaming and online gaming and whatever, on minors especially.
Yeah, people can't play games. I mean, for as long as they want. Yeah, I was reading that there's also like there haven't been many approvals lately when it comes to being able to publish games. So it's probably even worse than we know.
There
Some companies.
there are limited. Yeah, the government did set limitations on exactly how many games can be released in a year, didn't they? So
I think,
it's a weird one.
for example, Tencent, they haven't got a new license to release the game in a couple of years. So, yeah, it's kind of weird from our perspective, at least. But well, that China is its own thing, and
it's a weird one.
But but acquisitions continue, so Francesco will have to bear with them.
Yeah, I'm almost dead.
Yay.
Yeah, yay me.
I suppose, well, at least there is a direct link to the next thing, which is also about acquisitions, but it's the aftermath or the deciding of an acquisition, where the Competition and Markets Authority here in the UK, they've the prelim verdict is that it could lead the Activision purchasing Microsoft purchasing Activision could lead to competition concerns, which is, well, that's a no-brainer. It's just the case of and they'll let it go past. I don't think for a second they'll not let it go past. But I do think there's no doubt that it's going to lead to competition concerns. We're going to get onto this topic soon, but Microsoft haven't bought these so they can publish the games on PlayStation in the long term. So it does mean some of the biggest franchises will all be under one roof, and that's after they've already bought Elder Scrolls and things like that.
Yeah, well, of course, when the CMA released this news, Microsoft also had a blog post ready by Phil Spencer, who basically said, "Don't worry, we will not, keep these games off PlayStation." And actually, sometime later this week, The Verge also got a statement that basically Microsoft sent a signed letter to Sony guaranteeing that Call of Duty will stay on PlayStation for several years beyond current contracts. The one they had stipulated with Activision. So
several years can be as little as 2.
Yeah. Well, it's not surprising because they just said like not too long ago that it would be profitable to keep Call of Duty exclusive.
Yeah.
It's probably it's not surprising because more sales. But does Microsoft really care about moving consoles at this point? I don't think they do that much.
No, not consoles. That's true, absolutely. They actually, we all assumed it, but in the blog post, Spencer also said outright, we will bring Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Diablo, just to name 3, to Game Pass. That's their real end game. So,
of course, it's yeah. I mean, eventually, to be fair, eventually Sony might just be smarter putting Game Pass on the putting Game Pass on PlayStation.
Or they'll probably merge the services, like their new PlayStation Plus they have, and who knows? The future really is. It can be weird, seeing these companies that they used to be rivals and now they just
and also
get on together.
Microsoft's point is kind of like, well, these companies like Tencent and Sony, which are currently, ahead of Microsoft in terms of revenue, gaming revenue. These companies also keep investing. Even this week we've seen with From Software, and so it's not like we've said previously. It's not like Microsoft would get kind of a monopoly by buying Activision Blizzard. Not at all. Certainly, of course.
It's a little different in some sense because Tencent keep investing, but they're really not doing anything. They're not changing anything. Whereas, because they haven't got a console, they haven't got that foothold. They're just essentially investing to get the dividends. Whereas Microsoft, what they purchase directly removes things from competitors, and it does directly remove the chances of certain gamers. It causes exclusivity. That's the simple reality. And where a lot of people will piss and whine on the PC market, where people piss and whine about games being exclusive to the Epic Game Store, but that's not really an exclusivity because any PC player can do it. If you only own a PlayStation and Microsoft, they buy what they buy and they only keep bringing it to Game Pass, then you don't have access to those games anymore.
Yeah, but exclusivity has been, I think, forever.
It has. I think it's getting worse. It's getting worse now than it has done in the past.
I don't think it's it's getting worse when it just comes to consoles alone, because everything is coming to PC now. So it's a very weird one.
I think that's
also. Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I sort of agree. When it comes to consoles alone, the fact that everything's coming to the PC is nice, but not everybody can afford a PC like we've got.
Yeah, true.
That's true, but I think Microsoft also banks a lot on the cloud service, because they're saying, look, maybe not everyone has our consoles, but everyone has smartphones, everyone has internet connection, and we'll make it available to them via the cloud. And I think their end game is that their games via cloud could be one day, of course, if Sony agrees, even played on PlayStation that way. Game Pass games.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think
maybe it is a good deal then. If they're just saying you do have phones, right?
Yeah.
The same wouldn't be if it was the opposite, like Sony doing this, because Sony really keeps their exclusives.
Yeah,
they like to keep them exclusive as long as they can.
Yeah. Though they are slowly moving to the PC, as you said.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, though, I think the extended review from the point of view of a regulator was warranted pretty much, but eventually they'll let it pass probably.
Yeah. That's what I think. It'll go through. But there you go. So we're finally done with acquisitions.
Wow.
Don't get too giddy. Don't get too giddy.
There's always an acquisition behind the corner.
There is. It's just the Sony are probably looking at buying somebody right now.
We're still waiting for that. We're still waiting for that. We have bought Square Enix.
It's going to happen. It is going to happen. I've been saying it for too long. If they don't buy Square Enix, then whoever's in charge of Sony are idiots.
Yeah, I mean, if Sony buys Square Enix, then for sure Xbox gamers won't get all of their games. So that's kind of a game.
Well, they're already getting shafted from some of those Square Enix games, because Final Fantasy VII Remake No, it hasn't been released on Xbox, and probably Final Fantasy 16 too, since.
Yeah, more than likely.
So yeah, they're already getting shafted.
So yeah, so the only other piece of news, there's a new Mafia game coming. I mean, that's about it. I don't really, you know, Mafia's a decent series. I've always enjoyed it. Does a new Mafia game make sense? Yeah. I mean, GTA clones. Well, they're not even GTA clones anymore. Open world crimey games. You know, they're still gonna be popular.
Yeah, I think Mafia predates pretty much. Well, not predates, but you know, it was its own thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly a
It didn't
GTA
go the
clone.
full open world. Yeah, it went for a more story focused. Yeah. Let's just
Yeah,
hope it's not like the new Saints Row.
yeah. I don't think so. Well, Mafia games usually are very serious.
Yeah.
In
You know,
tone.
I mean, in quality.
Yeah. Oh, I think you know, Hangar 13 has had kind of a bad streak because they've already had like 2 cancelled projects. You know, they released Mafia 3, they released the Mafia remake, and you know, hopefully this one, which is supposed to be a prequel, actually set in Italy. So it will be interesting in that point of
The
view.
start of the Mafia, Sicily or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would
and
be interesting.
absolutely. And also, there are rumors that the studio is also working on a new top spin game, which personally I would love. So hopefully that's the case.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, let's see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, this is the last kind of news piece. But I think you maybe want to talk a bit about your opinion piece that went up yesterday
It's not yeah, let's be
Callisto
honest.
Protocol.
Well, same as I said in our little in the group chat, fuck Callisto Protocol. No interest. I am now glad that I wasn't able to see it at Gamescom because I feel for the developers. There's, you know, everybody will defend it, saying, "Oh, it was misconstrued," but the reality is that the CEO of the studio went on talking about of Striking Distance Studios. I mean, the tweet was absurd. I've just pulled it up now again. I mean, the tweet's been deleted, but Glenn Schofield, I only talk about the game during an event. We are working 6 to 7 days a week. Nobody's forcing us. Yeah, so we'll get onto that. Exhaustion, tired, COVID, but we're working. Bugs, glitches, performance fixes. One last pass through audio. 12 to 15-hour days. This is gaming, hard work, lunch, dinner working. You do it 'cause you love it. No. Some people, solo developers, yes, they probably, same as we know when, in my chest. What was the farming game? My brain's gone now. I've got brain fog due to COVID. The indie farming game that
There are many.
There are many.
you
Yeah,
know,
there are too many.
the one that was like massive. It was like the proper Harvest Moon sequel.
Stardew Valley. No.
Yes, Stardew Valley. So games like Stardew Valley, made by a
Well,
single
I
person.
I don't think it's that one though. It's not really a farming game.
Near enough as
Oh
damn.
no, yeah, maybe it is. You know, there are
Yeah.
too many in this with the same name. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, it is Stardew Valley. It's like
okay.
that took years to make, and it was hard work from a solo developer. He was working for himself. He was making a passion project, and then people like him and others and I've read quite a few stories. I've read books and things like that. They burn out, but they have done it, and they do it because they love what they're making. Whereas in a studio like Striking Distance Studios, where you've got one payment, where you maybe two, but you've got a certain group of people that they've got the shares, they've got the power, they're the ones who pay the bills. If they decide that they want to be in the office for 12 to 15 hours a day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, that's their choice. But the problem is, if you're getting paid by them, and you want to, I don't know, do frivolous things like not die or see your children grow up. If you do that, then you always get looked bad upon. You're not putting in the extra effort. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Even if there's no direct line from the person saying you must do this. We know what the games industry's like. It's not a secret. Crunch has been utterly disgusting for so long now, and for longer than we've all been aware of it. The first time it really came to the forefront was the EA spouse matter, and then it's come forward again and 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 again. I could go on forever, but the reality is it's a stupid fucking tweet by Glenn Schofield. It's
Oh yeah,
that's an owner who's that fucking tired that he's
why
no clue
did
what
he
he's
do
doing.
that? Why? What's the point of saying things like that? What did he want
I
to
think
achieve?
the only explanation I can find is that he was drunk or something, because to advertise something like that is not really intelligent.
I honestly think he massively underestimated how people think about crunch now. Yeah, we've got people in the comment section on my post is proof of that, where they say, well, do they need medals? No, nobody's asking for them to get medals. We're asking for them to actually have a work-life balance and not kill themselves making a game. And we know that people have broke down. People have got PTSD making Anthem, of all fucking things. I mean, you should only get PTSD by playing Anthem, not making it. But it's
if you made it, then you played it. At least a bit.
You played it too much, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely think he thought in posting this that they're working this hard on the game that people would go, oh, thanks for the great hard work. We'll all buy the game now. Whereas, some people, human beings are not lizard people, actually look at this and think, that is absolutely fucking shite. And he says nobody's forcing us. Well, nobody's forcing him. Well, to be fair, maybe Crafton are forcing him. I don't know. But if he's doing it, there is an implicit threat to all members of staff that they need to do it too. It's not explicit, it's implicit, and it's happened in the games industry for decades now. So anybody who tries to say that, no, there's nobody threatening them, they're doing it because they love it, bullshit. Nobody does that and literally works themselves until they break down because they love something. Because you cannot work that hard. Nobody who works 80 hours, 100 hours in a week is ever that good. Because, and it's been scientifically proven, the human body and brain just stops working properly after so long. So fuck them. I think.
Yeah. Well, that's a good end. Yeah, that's the right ending. There's nothing more to add after that. You said you just said it.
Yeah.
And it's stupid that it felt like it was boasting in this tweet. It's like saying I'm ruining people's lives, but we love it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was really kind of tone deaf, and it's like is not being in touch with the last 4 or 5 years within the industry, where there have been more and more exposés of crunch and other issues as well. So maybe the tweet could have gone better in I don't know, 10 years ago, something.
More than likely, yeah.
No.
Oh well. So
Well, if he really wanted to praise his team's hard work, he just had to word this differently.
yeah, he could have just said we're working really hard, trying to get this to be the best game we can possibly get ready for the launch at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been a perfect tweet. The subtext would have been there. We're working really hard. In other words, we're killing people, but fair enough.
Yeah, well, but yeah, it wasn't said outright. Like he directly said that.
You leave it to interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this, you didn't even have to interpret it.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear as day.
Other people have tried, like in the comments, people have tried to interpret it differently. Oh no, he's saying that we're doing this because we love it. It's like, fuck off. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I expect someone will eventually ask him about it, and it will be interesting to see what he answers.
Well,
why
considering
did he
he
do that?
deleted the tweet after seeing the uproar just on Twitter, I'm fairly sure he knows what people are thinking.
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear at this point.
Yeah. But
he should have thought about that before running his mouth off.
He really should. If he had a brain, he would actually tweet something and trying to clarify this, but I don't think he does. But anyway, so what are you all playing?
I don't have anything new to talk about because there's still one game I can talk about that you know about, though. And then I'm still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I'm still not done. It's over a month, and hopefully I'll be done soon enough because it's not dragging because I'm having fun, but these days I prefer a shorter, tighter experience than something that goes on over and over for over 100 hours, and then you start losing interest after a certain point. It's just natural, even if the game is good. So, but I'm still enjoying it. So this is probably the exception this time around, but not much else other than this because I'm trying to get it done before other stuff that's coming out this month and next month comes out and I'm interested in. So I just don't want to put it away and leave it uncompleted.
There is a Square Enix overload.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. It's not granted that they are good. Well, I know that one of them will be decent. That's because I already tried the demo. It's the Diofield Chronicle. Yeah. But there's Valkyrie Elysium, there's the new Star Ocean, and I hope they're good because I love those franchises. But Valkyrie Elysium, the Valkyrie Profile series has been out of the spotlight for so long, and the last Star Ocean was a disaster. So I don't know, but I hope they're good. At least they're decent.
Yeah.
At least.
And how about you, Alessio?
I mean, honestly, nothing new. So I'm afraid I disappoint in that regard. But talk about, did you play the Diofield Chronicle demo as we suggested, or did you slack?
Slack? Have you seen all the writing I've been doing, getting the Gamescom stuff out? I will play. I'm gonna write because I've got things ready for tomorrow. I'm going to try and write up things for Tuesday. Try and get myself a few days in advance, and then I am going to start playing a game. Just have a couple of hours just doing things. So I will try the Diofield Chronicles demo. So that's my plan for today. Keep writing, do a bit more writing, and then try a game. Play a video game.
Yeah, what a strange notion. Right.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I suppose.
Well,
Yeah, that's it then for the for today. Quite quick and easy.
Yeah.
And still coughing, in short of
Yeah.
breath. So yeah.
Yeah. I think let's make a bet. Will Chris still be coughing next week or not?
I hope not.
I hope not.
Unless he wants to die from coughing. In that case, I would.
No,
Yes.
not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so it's I hope not.
Yeah.
Well,
Hope
it
not,
will
hope
be.
not.
Well, it will be 2 weeks, I think, since it started. So it's probably time to
get the
It's on the
doctor.
after.
Yeah.
It's on the after
get the
effects.
fuck away.
I say it's on the after effects now. I did a few tests this morning. One showed a very very faint positive, and then two were negative. So, I think I'm over that lump now.
So you are almost out of
Almost,
it, and
pretty much.
You're
just
not going
the
to die
after
this time.
Sadly.
You're not going to die this time.
Right. Then,
okay.
Yeah, on that note, we will call it a day then. I'll see you all in a bit.